Ah, the good old F harmonica. The F harp is a wonderful harmonica. It's just, it has its place. Every key harmonica has its place. And I think a lot of folks avoid an F harmonica because it's hard to get a sweet sound out of it and to really control the bends that you find on holes 2 and 3 especially. So that's what this video is about. A little bit of information about playing an F harmonica or any high key harmonica. Kind of wanted to continue the little bit of the theme of that 5 chord, so I'm going to tie that into this video as well. What I notice is that there's not much room for the tongue to move between as it passes through, let's say, a 3-draw half-step bend all the way down, a full step from there to the 1.5-step bend lower. The movement of the tongue to get these notes is not very much movement. So that's my biggest tip to you, is as you're examining what your tongue is doing in the world of bending on a high key harmonica, think less movement, more forward in the tongue. The front part of the tongue is doing the controlling versus like a G harmonica where you're feeling a lot of the bending happening way back in the tongue. So let's play these bends on hole 3 real quick. So if you have an F, pull it out and play this with me. I'll play the 3-draw, the 3-draw half-step bend, the 3-draw full-step bend, and then the 1.5-step. Here we go. Let me do that again. So that's not very much movement. 2-draw. 2-draw, half-step, and full-step. Before long, if you're comfortable on a D harmonica, you'll find that the F is not a huge leap. It's just a little bit of an adjustment. I'm not really pleased with the bends I was getting on 3-draw. Take one more stab at it. So you really want to try to separate and make sure you can hear these half-step increments moving. I think those are the most notable bends worth really mentioning here to you today. And then check out a song study by Sonny Boy Williamson, #1, who we don't talk about enough, probably the most influential of all the blues harmonica players, just based on the sheer amount of players that he influenced that came after him. Check out Good Morning Little Schoolgirl, and you'll see that on the 5 chord, he's hitting that 1.5-step bend on the 3. Let me play this for you and let you hear it. I'm afraid to let it play too long because I know you're not for copyright issues, but let's see what happens. All right, here comes the 5 chord. So you hear that now. And he moves from that 3.5-step to 2 full-step bend and 1 draw. It's unusual to hear a 3.5-step bend at any point in cross harp. It doesn't come up that much. Most folks don't use it. So Little Walter used it on some tracks that I've heard. I know Kim Wilson likes to throw it in occasionally. But not a ton of players are using this note. And Good Morning Little Schoolgirl is a perfect example of a way you can put it in on that 5 chord. And again, on an F, he chose to do that. That's kind of cool. He kind of moves that 2 full step just to point that out to you. On the last one. Meaning the last note before the note before he moves to the 1 draw. On that 2 full step bend, you hear him just moving it. And you really need a light touch. An F harmonica doesn't take a whole bunch of air to move the reeds. So just consider just regulating a nice stream of air when you're playing and focusing on these smaller movements on the tongue. And check out the song "Good Morning Little Schoolgirl" by Sonny Boy Williamson, #1. Look it up here on YouTube, and play along with him. You know, the intro is all you need for this song study. It's a beautiful introduction to the song. That's just some of these classic riffs, which he repeats later on in the song. They're really worth learning. So check that out. That's what I have today for you. That was a swing in the key of C that I came in playing to that track, the quick swing in C from the Ultimate Blues Jam Harmonica Edition. So I'll just take you out with a little more on this C harp.